Hi fans, Stacy Gardner here, welcoming you to the 12th episode of Comic Corner Review. Before I begin, I want to say that I'm sorry for taking the long, unintentional hiatus that I did. It's just that I've been busy working, hanging out with friends, and trying to come up with new ideas on how I could improve the show for you, the viewer. I'm sorry, but I am going to get right back into it. I'm going to do what I do best. I'm going to do what I'd love to do for you. Tonight, we're going to have the review of Batman Incorporated, issue 11. Mega Man 35. X-Men Adventures number 3. And Batman, the greatest stories ever told. First, let's go ahead and get into it with Batman Incorporated, number 11, it actually features the Batman of Japan, which I was kind of wondering as I read the comics. I was kind of wondering what issue they were going to put him in, and I can actually see from the costume that my mind was blown. I was expecting something anime-esque, but I was not disappointed. I was thrilled, thoroughly thrilled by what I seen, and I liked it. I understand how they wanted to do continue the Batman and Robin theme, but I'm sorry. Am I the only one who sees that this should not have happened? I mean, come on. It's Batman teamed up with Tinkerbell. Am I the only person here who sees something wrong with that? I just don't see how it could work. The art and story behind the book was done by Chris Burnham and Jorge. Forgive me if I pronounce this wrong. Jorge Lucas. Or George Lucas? No, I think it's Jorge. Anyway, it shows, average street crime that Batman has to deal with in Gotham. And I honestly gotta say, I love the art. It's like spot on for Batman. And this guy here, let me see if I can remember his name, or try to find it. Yeah, Jiro. He actually lives up to the Japanese Bruce Wayne montage. Playboy by day, caped crusader at night, and it's a perfect mix. But I think they could have come up with a much better name for his partner. I mean, Canary. Isn't there already a superhero with Canary in her name? I'm just saying, it could have been done better on that one. But yeah, like, and it's just really well done how they did this, the Japanese Batman. I mean, like I said, I was thoroughly impressed, and like, it does offer that break of the grittiness of the storyline that Batman Incorporated was going into. In case you've read it, I won't spoil anything if you haven't. Although I have to admit, it really caught me by surprise when I saw how the issue went down. But I guess that's how Batman, I guess you could say, rolls. It does have its ups and downs, which is what you expect from anything. With pros comes cons. You can't argue that. The art is there. The Batman feeling is there, and I loved it. I honestly loved it. I have to give Batman Incorporated issue 11 a 4.75 out of 5. The only, and like I said, the only downside I have with it is Canary, but that's just me. Next up, we're going to continue in the Batman category with Batman: The Greatest Stories Ever Told. Now, this book actually contains a bit issues from early comic book issues or moments of Batman's career against crime from different perspectives, like Steve Englehart, Denny O'Neil, Mike W. Barr, Mike Miller. Excuse me, Mark Miller. Sorry about that. Frank Miller, and last but definitely not least, Bob Kane. Which, if you ask me, if you mention Batman, you cannot just forego mentioning Bob Kane. Yeah, like I said, every issue has basically got its own version of the greatest, Batman stories. Like, one is he's going up against the Joker. I think this one was called let me see if I can. The Joker's 5-Way Revenge. That's a great story. I've actually read it about like 20 times since a friend of mine gave me the book for my personal collection. It's also got small, I guess you could say, like comic strip or little bite-sized comic book versions of Batman, like Nobody Knows. I found another great story in here. Let's see if I can find the title of the story. Yeah, Batman Robin. Robin Dies at Dawn. Definitely a good read. I mean, when I read this book, it's just like traveling down the road of Batman history. I know there's more in here. I know there's more to the history of Batman than this book could possibly hold. But yeah, it's definitely there. It's got like some of the best scripts, editing, ink, pencil. Like I said, it's like taking a trip down memory lane of the greatest stories of Batman ever thought of. Yeah. For Batman: The Greatest Stories Ever Told, I have to give it a 5 out of 5, because I can't see nothing wrong with this. Is vintage Batman. There are things out there that could possibly be better than this, but not much. But if you want to go old school, this is one piece of Batman literature you have to have for your collection. I recommend it. Next up, we have X-Men Adventures, based on the comic book based off the 1990s Fox Kids cartoon. And this one, which is called Enter Magneto, if anyone's ever seen the show, it basically follows the storyline of the cartoon. And then in this issue, they meet Magneto for the first time. Not only that, they also meet Sabretooth for the first time. When reading this, you can tell, like, from the era of the comic books in which it was made, it actually fit perfectly. And it's one of those where, like, you can't help but say, okay, it came out in the 90s. We're not expecting it to look good. We're not expecting it to be this era's drawing or inking or whatever, but it does work. Seeing as how it came out of the 90s. Excuse me. Well, I mean, I have to give it to Andrew Wildman for the penciler. I can't, and Kelly Kelly Corvese for editor, and Bob Harris for group editor. I think when I seen it on TV and then on DVD, because I have it now, and I read the book, I honestly thought it was spot on, perfect. I mean, it's the first meeting from like the cartoons that they had with one of the greatest. I have to say this, one of the greatest iconic comic book characters of all time. There's Wolverine, there's Magneto, there's Batman, there's the Joker. There's characters out there from every single comic book universe to where you have to stop and say, yeah, this person may be evil, this person may be good, this person may not be, whatever. But they're iconic. They're the people you look at and say, wow, that character is going to be remembered for possibly to the end of time. Like I said, I've actually got this this past Friday. I haven't put it down since I gotten it. I've actually read it about 10 times to this very moment. But yeah, I see myself reading more of this every single chance I get. Batman Adventures. X-Men Adventures. Issue 3. Another 5 out of 5. It's spot on. It's perfect for a comic book piece of gold that came out of the 90s. You want to relive your childhood. This is one of the issues that will make you look back and say and appreciate all of your childhood. Like I said, it's one of those you have to get. You can't go any further. Next up, we have Mega Man issue 35. This is the second issue following Archie's last major arc in the Mega Man series called Blackout. And I'm sure by now everybody who's been a fan of Mega Man has gotten it. If you understood the story, you basically know that following another crossover that Archie did between Sonic and Mega Man, Dr. Wily was finally going to try and begin what he considered to be his greatest foolproof plan to take over the world. But unfortunately, he did not realize how dangerous the being known as Ra Moon was, and it came back to bite him in the end. I like the story that they set it up for. It was dark. It was dark and gritty for Mega Man. So that was something very beautiful there. Yeah, like it's really great. This one, like I said, it's the second part in a follow-up, in which, as you can see, Mega Man, Pharaoh Man, and the Mega Man 6 Robot Master, Plant Man, over there, is investigating the ruins in which Mega Man fought a being called Ra Moon, and defeated him, although it nearly cost him his life. So yeah, it showed how deep robot intelligence can go as far as artificial intelligence. They experience happiness, sadness, excitement, and fear. As you can see, it's definitely something that I enjoyed, especially as a Mega Man fan. It's a good way to set up for another arc that they're going to be doing here soon. And so to those of us like me who's also a fan of Proto Man, it also gives another it gives us another reason as to why he left, other than what's already currently known by his faulty energy system. And also shows a semblance, semblance. What's the word I'm looking for? Twists, plot twists, things of that nature. Symbolism. That was it. Symbolism. I honestly gotta say, I loved it. It was something very beautiful, and it's just, oh man, I can't help it. But I got, like I said, I this is one of those I read almost all the time. It also shows hints at a future arc of the game, which we'll be seeing sooner or later. Something to really keep your eyes out for if you're a Mega Man fan. But not only that, it also shows a bit of the future for a possible new comic book they might start. If you're a fan of this series as same as I am, then you're definitely gonna love this. The Mega Man X series, which I believe, I was hoping for this, and I'm hoping that Archie pays attention to this and starts the Mega Man X series running alongside the Mega Man series, give it its own little, issues like such, but like having a series that can start its own self. The work by the cover, beautiful cover, one of two beautiful covers. This one is done, I think, by Patrick Spazante. I think that's his name. Patrick, if you're watching, I don't mean to offend you by getting your name wrong. I'm just trying the best I can. The work, the script by Ian Flynn, definitely spot on with the story. I mean, with the theme. So he's definitely just rolling with it, coming up with the best stories as possible for the series that he's doing. Since this basically has two stories in it, I'm gonna have to give two reviews for it. I'm gonna give the Mega Man story a 5 out of 5 because it's Mega Man for me and personal favorite. And I like the story of both Mega Man facing his fear of the fact that he nearly died, and Proto Man learning that he's not really alone. The Mega Man X story, however, as anyone who's ever followed the story knows, that in the future he was found by another doctor, and using X as a template, that doctor created what was known as the Reploids. And X being the true Reploid, believes that there are other ways to achieve peace other than violence. And like I said, it follows the original Mega Man X story to the dot, and I love it. I have to give Mega Man X Dawn of X a 4.7 out of 5. A 4.75 out of 5, because like I feel there was something they could have done more, but I mean, it's a bit of a teaser, so you get what you get. Yeah, like I said, some of these you might want to pick up your collection or not. It's your choice. As far as comic book news goes, I've been keeping my ear to the ground, and I've heard that DC has a casting news as far as their Batman Superman film goes. They actually have Ray Fisher, I'm guessing it's confirmed, to be portray Cyborg in the film, which I'm sure if any other fan the Justice League out there, like me, sees this as, Warner Brothers needs to stop what they're doing, take a look at it, and yeah, I understand that they're in production of it. Excuse me. But they're going about it all wrong. They're trying to hint towards the Justice League, but I mean, you got apparently, from what I've heard, Wonder Woman's already been cast. There's somebody playing Wonder Woman. I think it's Megan Fox, from what I've heard. I may be wrong. Ray Fisher, Cyborg. I mean, I think they may try and have somebody play John Stewart, otherwise known as the other Green Lantern of Earth. I just think that they're going too fast with it. I mean, if it's supposed to be Batman and Superman, use that as like, I think I said this before. I told this to a few friends of mine. What they need to do is stop. What DC needs to do is stop what they're doing. Take a look at Marvel. See how Marvel spread the the origin of the Avengers across multiple films, with each one ending in a teasing way to basically say, hey, if you want more, you got to come back for more. You got to see more of the movies, and that was brilliant. And that's what I think DC needs to do, because they're just rushing into it, and it's really not helping. I mean, the way they're setting it up, it looks like they're basically calling it the Justice League. They just want to focus mainly on Batman and Superman. But that's for another time. I don't know. I believe this movie's been in theater. Now, on to something else. I believe this movie's been in theaters for about a good 3-4 weeks. In case you haven't seen it, you really need to get from under your rock and go see it. Captain America, the Winter Soldier. I seen Captain America, the first Avenger. It was brilliant. It was just like something you just looked at and said, there's no way to improve upon this. There is no way to improve upon this. You would actually look at the first Captain America movie and go, you can't top this. You can't top this. Well, Marvel, they outdid themselves this time. I mean, they set the bar with Captain America. They set the bar with Iron Man. All like the original Avengers. They set the bar with the first series of the movies. But when they came out with this one, as far as Captain America series goes, they set the standard, but they burst past the limit. They basically set the standard, and they rose past that standard. I mean, I know that some people say that there are certain things wrong that Marvel's doing in their movies. You know, be it if it's true or not. Apparently, Marvel knows that they can possibly afford to overlook it, as long as they explain why. As long as they explain why they're doing it, and it's working for them. What can I say? It's perfect as it is. The Captain America movie blew me away with with things you would probably like to see in a really good action film. I mean, yeah, there was a bit of romance in there, Black Widow and Captain America. I'm not going to give anything away in case you haven't seen it. But it also gave you that tearjerker of saying, I just don't know what to do from there. And then like, it was beautiful. For a lack of a better word, I'm going to say that it was beautiful. And what can I say? I have to give it 6 out of 5 stars. I mean, I'm at a loss for words with the second one. Well, something tells me Marvel's going to continue to do what they're doing, and they're doing it well. Speaking of Marvel, they've got 2 more movies coming out in the next few days, in the next month. I believe this Friday, yeah. I believe this Friday will be May 2nd, which will have the release of Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man 2. So I'm looking forward to that. May 23rd is X-Men: Days of Future Past, and I'm definitely going to see that one. That on opening day. I've seen all the trailers. All the trailers so far. It's blown my mind. I will basically, if I do not see X-Men Days of Futures Past, I feel that I will basically blow myself, and I will basically just blow my own mind out of sheer anger for missing such a piece of historic legacy among the X-Men franchise. But yeah, that's something to look forward to. What can I say? Oh yes, seeing as how Spider-Man's on May 2nd, free comic book day this coming Saturday. I'll be on the lookout for all that. Hit your local comic book stores, every single one of them, if you're trying to get as many free comic books as possible. To all my friends in Columbus, Ohio, who are planning to be there, I'll try to be at every comic book store, but my first stop, most importantly, will be the Laughing Ogre on North High Street and Cook Road. So if you see me, if you want to stop me, take pictures, recommend comic books that you believe I should read or you want reviewed, let me know, and we'll go from there. I'll see. Well, this is Anime Watcher. This is Stacy Gardner, signing off for this episode of Comic Corner Review. I'll see you next time. Later.